Fridges and cabinets, federal officials officially banned red dye number 3 from all foods.
Kat Villanzoni spoke with a medical expert about how the red dye could be a health risk.
The Food and Drug Administration has banned a dye commonly used in everything from candy to cough syrup because they've discovered links to cancer. Trishni Barosi is a nutritionist with the UVM Cancer Center and joins us now. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
So first, can you add some context to this connection between red 3 and cancer?
Yeah, so since the 1980s, there's been evidence between the link between this dye and the risk of cancer. Better late than never. I'm glad that the FDA has put a ban on this dye. A lot of the evidence has been found in rats, and in general, these harmful substances that have been found to be carcinogenic in rats in large doses are very likely also to be carcinogenic to humans.
And what would be your message then to someone who hears this headline and says, whoa, you know, I've eaten that dye before. Should I be worried that I'm going to get cancer now?
Well, this red dye is present in many of the foods that people consume. It can be found in a lot of the processed foods, such as candies, frozen desserts, and even in imitation bacon bits. So my advice would be to just be an informed consumer and making sure that you're paying close attention to the ingredient list whenever you're buying anything. And if you find that some of these foods that you're consuming contain some of these dyes and you have some apprehension about these, better not to consume them and find another alternative.
So do you think, though, people know that they've consumed this dye before, or is it kind of like, you know, on the bottom of an ingredients label that maybe someone didn't read the whole way?
I think in general, a lot of us, when we go to buy food, and I'm very guilty of that too, you know, we don't pay attention to the ingredient list because a lot of time we are in a hurry. We need to get food, and, you know, there are so many other stuff going on. But I think the fact that the FDA has put a ban on this dye now, and there's been a lot of media coverage, a lot of consumers are having an awareness about what substances may be in foods out there. And I think this awareness is a first step to being more informed.
Because this is in a lot of processed foods, is this good or bad news for people who might rely on those kinds of foods because that's what they can find or that's what they can afford?
Yeah. I think a lot of us grew up with foods that might have been okay or might be okay for us to eat, but these foods are not necessarily the best for us. And some examples of these food include red meat, you know, sugar-sweetened beverages, and so on. I think moderation is key. You know, excessive consumption of these foods can increase your risk of cancer. So any of those foods that you can consume in moderation is a good first strategy.
Good information there. Thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you.